Over the past couple of weeks, I have made 3 Demon Slayer builds in Elden Ring, and so I've put together a video showcasing all of them. With the release of the new Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie, I decided it was time to become Tanjiro in Elden Ring. And through doing this, I found out that there is a surprising amount of moves you can replicate using the katanas and various Ash of Wars found around the world. But before we fully get into this, there will be spoilers for the anime and manga, so watch at your own risk. But first things first, I needed my Tanjiro lookalike. And here he is. I think he was done pretty well. You can see he's got his scar there on his forehead. And so we're ready to head into the world. Now I am doing this on New Game Plus because I wanted to get the Spellblade armor. Now this can be done through Rani's quest, but I couldn't be bothered, so instead I pretty much completed the game and then came back to the Round Table Hold to collect the armor. So now we've half completed Tanjiro's look from the first Demon Slayer episode. And you can see I have a hatchet here as well, just like how he started. So next up, I set out to get the Kaiden trousers, or Kaiden trousers. I don't know which way you say it. But this consisted of me tapping a grace and running over to this camp for maybe an hour or more until I finally got the drop. My recording was paused, but I got it. Believe me or don't believe me, I don't care. That took too long. So now the look from the first episode is complete. And next up, I needed to get myself a katana. Now I'm going for the Meteoric Ore Blade because when Tanjiro first touched his Nichiren katana, he was given a black blade, which is quite rare among the Demon Slayers. So I headed into the Kaled Waypoint ruins and had to deal with these really annoying rot pest things. I've never liked them, I never will like them, and got myself the Meteoric Ore Blade. So now it's time to level that one up to the maximum, since I have beat the whole game on this save, so I don't really have to worry about smithing stones at this point. But now it was time to learn some water breathing, and I was heading over to get myself the Moon Veil. This can be found in the Gale Tunnel after defeating a magma worm, so that's exactly what I went to do. But first I wanted to test my newly acquired weapon on the foes down in the cave. And you can see here, I'm kind of a bit overpowered for these guys. So anyway, now it was time to kill the magma worm. And it didn't go too bad. This guy's not really that difficult of an enemy to fight, so I kind of beat him with ease and finished the fight off with a crit hit. With that, I had gained myself some water breathing, which meant I now had my starting katana and I had Moon Veil with the water breathing on it. So next up, it was time to become a member of the Slayer Corps. And the best armor I could find for that is the Knights Cavalry armor. So I had to defeat 2 Knights Cavalries in the consecrated snowfield, which was probably the most difficult thing I had to do so far, as you can see from my flasks at the end of the fight. And then I had my armor. Yes, it is altered because that was the closest I could find to the Demon Slayer's uniform. Next up, I wanted to get myself a specific form of water breathing, the Water Wheel. Now the way I can do this is by getting myself a katana that doesn't have a bound Ash of War and putting Lion's Claw on it. So I opted for the Nagakiba, which is dropped from the Bloody Finger Hunter Yura, and it's safe to say he didn't put up much of a fight. After that, I made my way to Fort Gale in order to get myself the Ash of War Lion's Claw, which is dropped from killing this guy like so. And with that, we had completed our next move. I'd say this looks pretty close to the actual thing. I mean, minus the water patterns. Next up, it was time to get myself the Hinokami Kagura, which is one of Tanjiro's trademark moves, which meant I was headed into Carrier Manor. And over here, I got a lot of practice with my Water Wheel move. And it started to seem like maybe this would be my best attack. But that was until I picked up the Sword of Night and Flame. And just from wielding it, I could feel the power of the Hinokami Kagura speaking to me.
Daddy Dog, he can't even tell you.
Or I could just be schizophrenic. But either way, I took this over to Loretta to test out, and it seemed like this breathing style was quite powerful. It didn't take very long for me to feel the effects of the damage from this weapon, and I feel like the same can be said for Loretta too, because after not very long at all, she was dead, and I had taken my first victory with the Hinokami Kagura. Now at this point, my build was almost complete except for one final move that I wanted. This was Constant Flux, and with the addition of Elden Ring's DLC, I could attain this, and the weapon that I could attain this using was the Starline Sword. So I went over to defeat Moog, and it was pretty difficult, but we got there in the end. So now we had made it to the DLC, and straight away I made my way over to the Cerulean Coast. And after making my way down this path, I encountered a decently powerful enemy that was using the Starline Sword and who I would get the drop from. And once that intense fight was over, I had gained Constant Flux. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Yeah, this is definitely my most powerful move so far. Okay, whoa, I don't want to start the move again. With that, my build was complete and it was time to head into the new game and test it out on all the bosses. Okay, we're in the new world now, and I feel kind of wrong going into this with a full build, but this guy over here should have no chance against me. Straight away, let's see the damage. 800 for a heavy attack. There is absolutely no shot that this guy is going to beat me here. I mean, it's literally taking me 4 attacks to put him down to this health. I think this is the last hit, the finishing blow. I missed, but it's fine. He dies now. Okay, he dies now. There we go. But that was just a taster. I only used my starting sword against that guy. Okay, let's see how you do, Margit. I've swapped out for my next move, my water breathing. Let's start with the first hit, 1000 damage. See, I knew the Moonveil was pretty powerful, but with the scaling added on top, this is looking pretty good for us. Okay, I need to fix up. Bro, can you stop doing that? This guy's already started with like these cheap little dagger moves. Just cut that out already, man. Give me a chance. I mean, I know I've walked into this with like a full build and everything, but give me a chance, you know? And that is a lot of damage. But I haven't got much mind in my build, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. This guy is playing Relief Frog at that point. He just did like 3 different jumps. Striking Tide. He wasn't expecting that. Unironically though, Margit is actually one of my like most difficult bosses to fight, even though he's the first guy of the game. Striking Tide again. Caught him off guard. He had his back turned to me there. And another one? What are you gonna do against this range? What, try and use your own range? That sucks. Striking Tide again. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I don't know what just happened then, but you've got no shot, pal. Only one more hit and you're out of the game. All right, see ya. We are quite overpowered. And that's one boss down. Now, I know I made that look really bad, but I'm out of practice, and the damage was crazy enough to carry me. And with that, I was headed straight to Godric to show off my next moves. Okay, Godric, let's see how you deal with this. I'm gonna start off easy on you, okay? We'll start with a Striking Tide, and then just when you expect that to be my only move, we take out the Nagakiba, and we do a Water Wheel. See, that was a lot of damage, but I did take a hit for that. I got a bit hasty there, and he's already thrown a bit of a tantrum because of me. But just when you don't expect it again, another Water Wheel. I feel like soon enough, I should break his poise here. Maybe with one more Water Wheel, but I do need to heal up. You're never going to catch me with that. Another Water Wheel, and he's not knocked. He's into his second phase. Oh, I need to get my FP up before I fight him again. Okay, let's do this. Striking Tide again. How many of these can I get off before he does a move that punishes me? Okay, and there it was. Try it. You'll never hit that. Water Wheel. That's definitely my most powerful move so far. I think I'm going to keep using this for the rest of the fight. I mean, it's just ridiculous damage, and I don't really have to worry about getting punished because I've got so much health and we've got enough FP. Okay, don't knock me over. That's kind of rude. To finish this off with the MVP move. Go! I took damage there, but it doesn't matter. We killed him. This build does seem kind of crazy. And I know you're probably thinking that I should just dual wield because then it will get me a bunch of hemorrhage build-ups. But I don't think Tanjiro ever dual wielded. Therefore, we're going to stay true to that. With Godric now gone, I was on my way to Renala. There's no stopping us here. We're going from boss to boss. There's no downtime. We need to show these guys the might of Tanjiro. Although I kind of forgot that I was going to be fighting this guy next. I don't really like my chances here. I've never been good at this fight. Please heal, please heal, please heal. Okay, he missed. Lion's Claw, go! Okay, I do like a third of his health with just one hit, so hopefully there shouldn't be a massive problem with this fight. Again! Okay, just dodge that. This guy doesn't deserve to see a new move. You can deal with what I've already been using. Okay, Striking Tide. I think one more of those and he's gone. I just need to watch out for a jump here. Surely I can outlive this. There we go. There's our opening. Striking Tide again. He's not dead? Okay, finally. We got the last hit. Now that I'm this powerful, he does seem kind of easy, to be fair. Hello, Moongrum. You can just have a Water Wheel, my friend. I can't be bothered to fight you normally, so I'm just going to spam this until you're dead. Goodbye, pal. There's no blocking it. There is no blocking that you can do here. It won't save you. And you're gone. Tanjiro is just too powerful. Okay, it's time for Renala. This first part of the fight shouldn't be too bad. I'm hoping not to lose any flasks here. Okay, she should be coming down. I have no idea if I can beat her in one fall. I'm gonna hope so. It looks like I have the endurance to do this. With the hemorrhage build-up, we did it. But here's the real battle. Now, she's got a pretty good resistance against magic. In fact, she's really good against magic. So I'm hoping that with the Night in Flame, my flame dance might not count as magic. So we're trying it. Here we go. Okay, she's interrupted me. You are horrible for that. You're getting no mercy. Hino Kami Kagura. Why, bro? Why have you done that? Can I even use this move against her? Is she just gonna keep, like, stopping me? Okay, Hino Kami Kagura, go! She's dodged. I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna be able to fight her. like using my moves. I might just have to do normal attacks. And now she thinks she's special using some Renala's full moon. Get a grip. Oh, that was so close to hitting me. Okay, we dodge these. Maybe if I just hit her a couple times, it might stop her from trying to use her close range moves. Now we can do a Hino Kamikagura. You are horrible. Can I use one now? This is the worst. How am I meant to use my breathing techniques on you if you just keep doing this? Get down from there. I am determined to at least make one Hino Kamikagura work. Okay, now's our chance. Hino Kamikagura, go. I hit her. And it did quite a lot of damage. Now that just goes to show that if I could hit the entire move, it would probably do like half of her health. It's not working. We have to change our tactics here. I think we're going to have to stick to the old trusty lion's claw. There's no way she can stop us here if we're airborne. And we just slammed her straight into the ground. Another one of those and she's probably dead? Yeah, that's fair enough. I kind of tried to do that from too far away. Can I challenge her and hit her in the air with this? I'll be honest, Renala, an Oathsworn Giant is not going to save you here. Especially when I can just run underneath his feet. And then our water wheel. And then another, finish it off fast. Yeah, you had no chance in the first place. You should have just let me use my move, and then maybe you could have had a longer time alive. So far, we had been storming through the game pretty easily, and now it was time to go fight Godfrey the Golden. Now, my thoughts going into this are I'm not really certain on if I'll be able to use my Sword of Night and Flame against him, because I think this boss does move quite fast. But maybe after a long combo, I might be able to pull it off. Okay, let's just do a light attack. Let's just play it safe. And now, Hino Kamikagura. No, I couldn't. In fact, I might die. I did. I'm starting to think I shouldn't be using my Ash of Wars. Well, with our first death, I think we should just go back to basics. And that's with our trusty, old faithful, our first katana. Let's see what you got, Godfrey. Bang. 1, 2, dodge. He comes back around with a swing. Oh, I wasn't ready for the last hit, though. In fact, that was quite a long combo. Okay. That second death. You know, I thought I was good at this fight, but it's not really looking like that anymore. This used to be like the easiest boss for me to come up against. Let's see, can we get a cheap hit? No, we couldn't. Please, Tanjiro, do us proud. Does this guy ever have any downtime? Okay, good dodge. There we go. That's our opening for a couple moves. And I've managed to make my talisman work. This is looking like a good run this time. Dodge that. So far, this is almost like a no-hit run. My first hit that I took from this was kind of a fluke. We've got him quite low. I don't really think I'm going to be able to use any skills. I just need to get this guy out of the way, so maybe on a bit more of a static boss, I can actually try out my moves. Have that, and then one of those, and another. Now, I know that was greedy, but it's fine. I believe in us here. I just need one more hit. If I dodge this, he's done. There we go. We just had to get rid of our pride in our Ash of Wars and do the fight normally. And now we're on our way to Morgoth. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, because once again, I think we're not going to be able to use Ash of Wars. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Okay, Morgoth. Please allow me to use my Hino Kamikagura on you. He really doesn't look like he's got enough downtime for me to use it. Unless it's now. Please. That I just accidentally, I didn't change my katana. Tanjiro never used a gravity move. Maybe if I can provoke this guy into jumping into the air, I might be able to use it. Or maybe after this. Oh, I didn't dodge it properly though. Okay. Hino Kamikagura, go. That is quite a lot of damage. It just seems like I always have to take a hit in order to use the move. Why is he already... Oh, no, he's not second phase. That's my bad. Get a hit off. Oh, I was not dodging that. Okay, I am kind of selling here. Jump in the air. You know you want to do it. Hino Kamikagura, go. Oh, man. And that's another death. Bro, why can I just not use my moves ever? Okay, Morgoth, let's do this. I've swapped out my weapon for a faster Ash of War. You've got no chance now. Striking Tide. And another Striking Tide. I took a hit for that, but I probably got a decent amount of hemorrhage buildup, and the poise for it was worth it. We've got a crit. Using a faster Ash of War looks like it has been the play for sure. Oh, don't try and pull one of those on me. Ow, man. What the hell was that? Striking Tide. He's gone to second phase. Okay, I need to back off here. This is our opportunity to get some heals. Now, I think this is all I'm going to be able to do. I don't see myself being able to use a water wheel here. If I just stick with this, I'm sure we can win. Oh my god, that was close for a second. I just had to lock in there. Striking Tide. I didn't hit him. Bro, where's my dodge? Where's my dodge? We've got him quite low. We should have a chance at doing something here. Dodge that. Another Striking Tide. There should be a poise break coming up soon. Or just a kill. If I dodge this move, he should be dead. It turned out all I needed was to just use a faster Ash of War. And after doing a fight like that, the next boss I want to go up against is Malekith. Don't mind me. I'm just passing by. Please don't attack me. I want to save all my health for Malekith. I can hear him coming up behind me. Go, 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 go. That was close. But I think this is the fight where I want to use probably my best move. Let's see what you got, Malekith. Or Beast Clergyman. Constant Flux, go. As fast as you can. I don't want to have to get hit by this guy because it's going to hurt quite a lot. We did take quite a lot of damage there. And I also didn't get off the full Ash of War. But maybe this time we can. Go again. Constant Flux. If we can get the what's just happened to me. It's seeming like the damage on this Ash of War, isn't actually that insane. I would have expected it to do a lot more, but it doesn't seem that way. So I think I need to resort to old tricks for the rest of this fight. And things did get easier after I resorted to using my faster Ash of Wars. So it's looking like we can't use Constant Flux here, but I'm sure that's not too bad. We can use a Water Wheel if he doesn't dodge it. Okay, let's try a Water Wheel. Go. Okay, let's try back to basics. Striking Tide. And another one. See, he's stuck in the source now. He's trying to run away from me. It's not going to be that easy. Another Striking Tide. He's getting mad about it. It looks like going back to basics is our best move here. But I am running out of FP. And in fact, that was my final move before I have to flask up again. He did just run away from me though. So that's great. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can try and pull something off after this move. Hino Kami Kagura. I actually managed to get off a hit for a second then, but we can't risk it anymore. I'm stuck here at 1 flask and he has 1 HP left. So I just need to wrap this up. After this move, Water Wheel, go. And we've taken him out. That was very close. I'm still yet to have an opponent I can use my Constant Flux against. But I'm sure that with this next guy, I'm going to be able to try out my Constant Flux. Hello, Gideon. Sadly, you have become my test subject. I'm just going to let you have your moment of peace. This is nice. All right, time's up. Let's try this out. Constant Flux. You're not going to have a single chance here. I'm chasing you down. I just got a hemorrhage proc, like, straight away using this Ash of War. Okay, I need to get my endurance back up. All right, my stamina's back. Ash of War again. Get him. Constant Flux. That was crazy. He just has no chance against this move. And I didn't realize just how insane that Ash of War was as well. But when you have someone that you can use the entire thing on, they are just helpless and you get a full hemorrhage stack. He's gone. That's it. The fight's over. Okay, please stop talking to me now. I want to go on and beat the game. Okay, we're on the home stretch here. Penultimate boss coming up. Let's see how Godfrey does. Now, I already know that I can't use any long Ash of Wars against him. So if I just use some regular hits, I'm sure we have this in the bag. This now seems like the point where the damage falls off quite a bit. Damn, I am locked in for this right now. But I think it's time to swap this out. It's time for some water breathing. And it seems quite powerful. Striking Tide. And he's into his second phase of his first phase. Clean dodges. We're slowly chopping him down. It seems like going back to basics is quite powerful for this. There we go. That's half health. And now it's Tanjiro versus Horalu. Okay, run. Go back. I need to get my FP up. And I need to not get grabbed. All right. Well, there goes most of my health. We're down to 3 flasks left. I can dodge that. He missed that like whole combo, to be honest. All right, get back. That's 1 dodge. Is he going to grab the ground? Oh, he didn't. We can dodge that. Easy. God damn, this guy is an animal. Oh, this is one where I need to run away. Go. Okay, I made it out just in time. We don't want to do anything fancy here. We just need to finish the fight at this point. He's down to 1 HP left. Stop him in the midway for his move. That was probably the most intense fight so far, but I'm sure it's going to be nothing compared to this. We're going all the way. Tanjiro versus Radagon. Let's do this. We'll just start off with the basics. They've never failed us before. And another. I might be able to get a poise break off quite fast here if I just keep it coming. And another one. Maybe I'm 1 more hit away. 1 more. There's the poise break. And a crit. Very good start. Oh, I mistimed my striking tide. I think it's time to swap the move out. We need a water wheel. Get out of the way of that move. Okay. I need a moment where maybe I dodge a big move of some sorts. So then I can use my water wheel. And this is it. We dodge that. Water wheel him. Okay, that was clean. We managed to get one off there. Now our next challenge is managing to get the Sword of Night and Flames Ash of War off. I need this guy to use his biggest move. So then I have enough end lag to be able to use this. This might count. Sword of Night and Flame, go. It did most of his health. And there we go, I managed to get a finishing hit. Now we've got the Elden Beast next. And we have made it to this fight with 3 flasks left. Let's see, can I get a Hino Kami Kagura on this guy? Point blank, the whole damage. God damn, this guy's tanky. But since this is a slow-moving character, this is a slow-moving boss, I think on his next move, I'm going to try use my Constant Flux. I think that's it. Constant Flux, go. He's finished using all of his moves. Can we hit the full thing? I did. And it seems like it does quite a lot of damage to this guy. Even the normal attacks seem to do quite a lot. But now we're going back to Striking Tide. First form. And then next up, after we catch this guy, second form, Water Wheel. Big damage. Oh, I need to get out of this. I know what that is. Okay, I didn't get blown up. This guy's really running from me right now. That's kind of embarrassing. You know, Kamikagura, go. Can we hit the entire thing? Let's hit even the slash. Oh, I don't have enough FP for that. Oh, I don't. Okay, I could have just been hit like twice there while doing that. That's fine. I want to go back to Water Wheel. All of these moves are quite powerful. Here we go, Water Wheel. Have it. Take the full brunt of the second form. Let's do this. Okay, I missed. And I've ran out of FP potions, so I need to be careful with what I'm doing here because I want to finish this with an Ash of War. But if I use my FP up too fast, then I'm not going to be able to finish this the way I want to. So we're just going to have to stick to some normal attacks for now. No breathing techniques or anything. Okay, he's gone up in the sky again. I know what that means. I just need to run. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I managed to make it. Now I need to close the gap. Okay, a couple more swings. Basic hits. That was a lot of damage I managed to get off there. And now we'll use a Water Wheel. Big. I think I know the way I want to end this, though. I just need to get him low enough. Has he stopped using his moves? Constant Flux. Kill this guy. There's only one way I wanted to finish this. And it ended with an improved Water Wheel right at the end. The Elden Beast is dead. And we have ran the full gauntlet as Tanjiro. Although I did die a couple times, so I guess we didn't run a flawless gauntlet. We have tested out the Tanjiro build on all the bosses, apart from the Fire Giant and Godskin Duo, because I hate those bosses. And before we end it, here's the stats for the build. I'm sure this isn't optimized at all, but this is just what I was running. As for the talismans, I've got the Winged Sword Insignia, Radagon Sword Seal, Twin Blade Talisman, and Shard of Alexander, which is probably quite basic. I'm sure there's a better way to have done this. After the release of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie, I was inspired to make a Zenitsu build. And how could I not be after hearing this peak? But before we continue, there's a spoiler warning for the anime, so watch at your own risk. Alright, so first up I had to make a character that looks like Zenitsu. And here we have him. He looks kind of close to the real thing. I'll be honest, it does look more like he's a skinwalker who's trying to be Zenitsu, but there he is. And with that out of the way, it's time to get the armor for this build. First up, for the pants, I decided that I was going to get the Oathseeker Greaves, which means we're headed into the DLC already. And this fight was quite difficult. As you can see here, I'm using a fist weapon, as I'm not really sure if Zenitsu had any weapons before he gained his katana. So we're taking the safe route and we're fighting with fists. But sadly, that did mean that this fight took a while to complete. But after however many tries, I finally killed him. And you can see here at the end of the fight that I had to let my stress out and I teabagged him, which I guess is a little disrespectful, but you know what? He deserved it after what he put me through. But now that we're in the DLC, it was time to head over to the Church of Benediction. Once through this tunnel, I was there at the Church of Benediction, and you can see a dead body here that has the armor set. So that's half of our look complete already. Next up is Zenitsu's Haori, which is mainly yellow, and for this I decided that the altered version of the Laying Down Knight armor would work best here. And to get this, it was pretty simple. All I needed to do was kill a Laying Down Knight enough times for him to drop the armor. Luckily, I've fought these guys quite a lot. I've farmed this particular one hundreds of times before for a different build I've done in my private runs, so the fight wasn't too bad. It just took a while for him to drop what I needed, and you can see that because my runes have gone up quite a lot, but eventually we got it. And so we've completed the look, and I'd say it kind of looks like Zenitsu with his Slayer outfit on. So now that we're looking the part the best we can, it's time to get ourselves some weapons. And Zenitsu's most iconic move is his Thunderclap and Flash, which we can recreate by putting the Ash of War Blink Bolt on a katana. And for that katana, I wanted the Nagakiba. Now in my Tanjiro video, I took the easy way and killed Yura, but people weren't very happy about this. You're lucky, Yura. The comments have protected you. I'll be on my way now. And after somehow acquiring the Nagakiba, then upgrading it at the blacksmith, I was headed back off to the DLC, because the Ash of War Blink Bolt is actually found in the Fog Rift Catacombs. Now this took me a second to find, because these catacombs are actually quite confusing. There's a lot of spikes falling all over the place that you can actually find your way on top of, but eventually I found the room I was looking for. And after clearing out this room of the enemies, I then had to stand on the edge of the platform to bait a spike down and jump into the indent made in the side of it. Once I was up here, all I had to do was open the chest. So now we've got our first move, and you can see it's a pretty cool move and it's quite accurate. But I felt like this wasn't enough to do Zenitsu justice, and I set out to get another move. So now it was time to get myself the Uchigatana, which was pretty easy to get. All I needed to do was go into the Death-Touched Catacombs, run past some skeletons, and pick up the katana off of this corpse. So next up I needed to get myself Lightning Slash, which is found in the northern side of the Outer's Plateau. After getting into the camp, I found the Teardrop Scarab that gives gives me the Ash of War and killed it pretty fast. Then with this triumph, I started to test out the move on some of the mobs nearby, and I was one-shotting them. I don't know if this was a stat thing or if the move was just this powerful, but with that done, it was time to complete the build. And this final step was to get the Electrify armament, which turned out to be pretty easy, because to get the Electrify armament, you have to hand in an incantation book to Brother Korhin, and this one in particular is dropped from the Leyendale Knights. So from my farming earlier, I had actually already attained this book and bought myself the incantation. And to cast incantations in Elden Ring, I need a seal. Luckily enough, there was a really cheap one I could buy from the Twin Maiden Husks, which is this finger seal here for 800. So now that that's done, I can put Electrify onto my katanas, so even when I'm not using the Ash of Wars, I'm still using Thunder Breathing. So I think with that, we're all set and ready to go into the new game. Okay, let's do this. And I think for this first opponent, I'm not going to use any Ash of Wars. Instead, we'll just hit a simple one of these, and we'll show this boss what's up. All right, he's here. The battle started. I really hope I don't absolutely embarrass myself here against this guy. But there's a couple dodges. We got a swing off. Honestly, not thrilled with the damage. I thought we'd be doing a bit more than this. But it's fine. We didn't come here to lose. So as long as I just do these jump attacks, I'm sure we'll be fine. And I have realized the reason why I'm not doing that much damage is because I forgot to put my talismans on. But we still killed him anyway. So that's the first boss down. So now that I had my talismans equipped, it was time to head over to Margit. I'm excited for this one because it's here where I'm going to use my first Ash of War. Just after I find my opportunity, I just need a big opening to do this attack. And I think this is one. Go, Lightning Slash. 1,700 damage. And somehow the tail swipe missed me while I was doing that. We're looking quite powerful here. And a dodge again into another Lightning Slash. See, what I didn't realize is that after each hit I did, a powerful lightning beam would strike down after. I thought this move was just a basic slash, kind of like Moonveil but an electric version. However, this just goes levels beyond that. We're about to kill this guy in like 7 hits. I haven't actually been counting, so I think this move coming up is about to be the 7th. Go! The finishing move! Oh, that was so close. And I've been smacked away for that. One more lightning slash will do it. And it's going to be the charge up for the move that kills him. The slash has just gone through his lifeless body. Okay, something tells me for this Godric fight, we're not going to have much of an issue. And I'm pretty sure that lightning damage is really good for poise breaking. So hopefully soon, this guy should get staggered. But sadly, he didn't. However, none of that matters anymore because we're here for Godric. I wish you luck, pal. Not getting caught by that one. Okay, I did. But he's not ready for one of these. We just have to play it smart here. What do I mean play it smart? We got a powerful build. We don't lose these here. Another lightning slash. Hit him with it. Godric, you are washed, pal. There's nothing you can do here. At any moment now, you're going to get staggered. Okay, well, he's not staggered. He's going into the second phase. And I missed both my hits. We managed to get an extra 500 damage on him while he was going into the next phase. And we got more slashes. Spam him out. Spam him while he's using his fire move. Yeah, this guy is getting ruined. The damage is unreal. And he's using another fire move. This is our opportunity. Into a stagger. Is this a kill on the crit? And it is. We are killing these bosses so fast with this build. And I haven't even used Blink Bolt yet. So now we're off to Raya Lucaria. Things are almost going suspiciously too well here. So I'm getting a little worried for this next fight. But I believe in us. All right, let's do this. I'm swapping over to Blink Bolt right now. Since this guy has a lot of mobility, I feel like I'm also going to use mobility to keep up with him. Why does my first form do nothing? Blink Bolt, Thunderclap and Slash. Where's all that Zenitsu damage? Okay, it's fine. We've got this under control. Maybe it's because I didn't put on the Electrify armament. However, just from our heavy attacks alone, we are doing a lot of damage to this guy. And I think we'll be finishing the fight soon. Here it is, our final hit. Thunderclap and Flash. Okay, so it's looking like our first form is more useful for mobility than damage. But I think we're about to find that that's perfect for this next fight. Hello, Moongrum. I don't think you're ready for this. We're starting it off fast. You weren't expecting for it to be on site with me, were you? See, one moment I'm back here. Next moment I'm up in your face. Okay, he actually managed to hit me just then. But he's no longer trying to parry anymore. Now that he's not using the shield, we should be able to finish him off. Thunderclap and Flash, catch him off guard. Okay, you would have thought that the Blink Bolt would stun him, but it just hasn't. However, he is gone now. And we have been severely weakened going into this Renala fight. And it's also dawning on me that I haven't allocated my flasks properly for this build. So I've only got one refill on FP. And we'll have to make it last. There's no other option. Oh, we are completely ruining her with the Nagakiba here. We might be able to take her out first time and go to the second phase. Okay, we've made it. I feel like Blink Bolt's going to be really useful here. For each time she runs away, I should be able to just chase after her. However, first I do need to wait for this moon to go away. All right, Blink Bolt past them. Oh, it's good for dodging as well. So this may not be much of a damaging move, but it's pretty good for closing the distance and dodging her attacks. However, now she's bringing out the summons. So we've got to believe here. I'm really going to need this move properly in order to dodge her summons. Go! Okay. I've cut off her move halfway. We just need one more hit after I manage to close the distance again. Any moment now, when she's finished doing this moon, we'll be able to get her with it. Please tell me that's just wolves. It is, it is. All right, dash past them. Dash again. Thunderclap and flash to the end. Okay, we got her. We managed to get past all the wolves using 3 consecutive thunderclap and flashes. So we've managed to avoid death there. And after reallocating my flasks, it was time to head over to the next boss fight. You may be wondering, how did I allocate my flasks? And the answer is, I just moved one over. So it wasn't much of a change, but I'm sure it will be useful. Okay, we're rolling up on Godfrey now, and we're moving fast. It's on sight with this guy. We're going in straight away, and he missed his attack because we was too close to him, is my theory. Now we just need to not get arrogant here. So as long as I don't do that, we shouldn't be losing this. Blink bolt to dodge. Oh, that's actually amazing. Can I blink bolt the next one? The iframes on this are insane, but I am starting to get careless now, so I need to watch out for that. So on the next move, we blink bolt. Okay, this is a really good dodge. I say that as I get hit. On the next attack, okay, I didn't do it right. On the next attack, blink bolt. This is actually too good. He doesn't have a chance here, unless I mess up my dodges again like that, but never mind. We managed to stop him before he did his next stomp. Okay, and I am finding out just how busted this Ash of War is. The iframes on the wind-up are crazy. It feels like if I'm ever worried about dodging a move, I can just press that button. I just have a magic invincibility button I can press. And with this momentum, Morgoth's up next. You are not ready for this. If I think you might have a chance at hitting me, I'll just pop one of these and close the distance. And then another one. Each time I think I might mess up the dodge timings, all I have to do is just press this Ash of War. Oh, and he's already resorting to these tactics. I got you a little bit worried over there. I got you a bit shaky. Okay, I do need to watch out for that though. So it looks like he has some sort of cure against my move, but that's fine. We just have to go above and beyond with the blink bolts here, and this is exactly why I put an extra flask into my cerulean tears. It was for this reason. Oh, he's in his second phase now. We need to use this opportunity to heal up and get our FP back, although I am looking a little bit worried here. For that reason, I have been grabbed, because there is still opportunity to mess this up, and especially now that I've ran out of flasks. We have no safety net anymore, so we got to be on point with this. The blink bolt is working, and another one. And spam another. Oh, okay, and there it is. So with that, we had taken our first death. But hope was not lost, because I had a trick up my sleeve. So if you've been watching closely, you may have seen that I have a second incantation here, the Dragon Bolt Blessing. Now, this is something I did go ahead and get at the start of the video, and what this does is it should give me the superhuman-like strength that Zenitsu has, which should put up my damage resistance. However, it won't enhance my attacks. So let's try that on the next run. So I have to make sure to apply this before I go in. There we go, there's one. Then we apply the next buff. All right, I just realized I used that on the wrong katana, but it's fine. We'll start with this first. Gotta make sure we two-hand. Do your worst, Morgoth. Do your worst. Dodged. Lightning slash. Okay, he's interrupted me. This is why I've put it on the wrong katana, because I needed to put blink. I need the blink bolt katana. All right, there we go. Okay, blink bolt this. Oh, why'd he hold it for so long? But it's fine. Just got to back up and heal. As long as I take good advantage of these blink bolts, he won't be able to get me unless I run out of FP. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Even with this buff that we've got on, it's still not looking too good. Abuse the blink bolts. As long as I can just spam these, I should be good. Oh, okay, we can back up now. We got to situate ourselves. I've ran out of health flasks, but we still have 1 FP flask. I just need to use these correctly. And another. I need to just stop dodging altogether now and just abuse this Ash of War. Like here. And then again, the Zenitsu tech is... So I died to him once again. But hope was not lost, because there was still one more thing that I could do to gain an edge. And that was by getting the spiked cracked tier and the blood-sucking cracked tier to increase our damage even further. And luckily the spiked cracked tier was easy to get. It's just over in Mistwood on this altar here. But the blood-sucking cracked tier was going to be a little different. And for this I needed to go to the Runes of Unte to kill a furnace golem. And to get there I did have to kill a couple of DLC bosses on my way, which took quite a long time, but I guess for anyone interested, here is the golden hippo dying. And after this, I made my way on over to the Runes of Unte and activated the golem. And this fight did take a while because he is just extremely tanky. But eventually, after many tries, I managed to kill him and we now had the blood-sucking tier. Okay, we have returned from a long journey. And I'm not gonna lie, if I had been fighting Morgoth for the same amount of time that I just spent doing all of that to get some like cracked tiers, I probably would have just killed him by now. But let's see how we do. All right, good start. We blink bolt in, keep blink bolting. Hopefully we should be able to kill this guy decently fast. We just need to finish this fight before we run out of this buff. I've run out of FP for blink bolt. Okay, let's get ourselves situated here. Okay, we move in. He can't hit me if I'm up in his face, right? Okay, get in there, the last hit. I've only just realized now that the fight's over that the blood-sucking cracked tear doesn't just take HP like immediately. It just keeps going until you've got none left. So it turns out that most of the HP I just burnt through there was from the blood-sucking cracked tear and not the boss. So with that, we were off to Malekith. And yes, I did fight the Fire Giant and Godskin duo in between. Both of those fights suck. But if you want to see what goes on in those fights, here it is. Okay, we're turning up to an actual decent and enjoyable fight. So glad we got those guys out of the way. That took way too long, but here we go. First, we got to start off with one of these. While he's doing his speech, we'll just buff up. Okay, blink bolt in. We'll try and be fast with this. I didn't manage to land any attacks then, but it's fine. We just needed to lure him over to us. All right, we're going in. That's a decent bit of damage, and I already need to use an FP flask. I should probably save a couple of my blink bolts for his second phase. And so far, we've managed to get him to this HP without taking any damage, although this might be an issue for us here. Hold up, maybe if I just stay out. Oh, I'm safe, I'm safe. Okay, blink bolt over this. I blink bolted straight into it. Okay. I guess we can't dodge everything with that. But can I at least get him down to a second phase with a decent bit of flasks left? Now we're on to Malekith. Oh, and I should not have flasks just then. Okay. A couple hits though. Hold up. I just realized I need to put my buffs back on. Hold up. Calm down. Calm down. Time out, man. I need a flask. I need a flask. Okay. We can deal with this. We just got to act fast. Okay, he has completely ruined me here. We're down to our last flask, and it's not looking good. Yeah, there it is. Okay, this time, I need to make sure to use my Wondrous Physic, because I realized I forgot to use it last fight. So while he's walking up, we'll use one of those. Okay, he's coming way too fast. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I didn't get to apply any of my other stuff yet. I also need my runes. We apply the buff. Now we need our next one. Please don't hit me. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Okay, and we're good to go now. I just need to blitz this guy. Okay, it's not looking too bad. I just need to run back for this move. I've gone through one flask so far. I managed to get him this low. Quick, blink bolt that. Heavy attack into a second phase. We're doing decent. We're on to Malekith already. Okay, we timed that well. Going in. Damn, we're getting some easy moves right now. Things aren't looking too bad this run. We've got 5 flasks left. Blink bolt that. Blink bolt again. I didn't even need to blink bolt that time. That was just for style. On the next move. Okay, again. Okay, I just managed to dodge that in time. We're looking pretty decent here. I just need to make sure I perfectly blink bolt these attacks. However, for each one I am dodging with that move, I'm not really getting off any like hits for it. However, that was decent. One more hit before he gets me. We've done it with 3 flasks left. A massive damage buff on that time around. So I think it's time to take this build over to Gideon and see how we do. Okay, I don't think he's ready for this. We're just pulling up with the armament. I don't think he's really going to have a chance here. We just got to keep up the frontal assault. Don't give him a chance to do anything. As long as I don't let him put off a move, and I managed to stop him from doing his, like, self-destruct move. Oh, he's casted a couple things now. Hold on. We just need to be smart with this. And don't let him heal. I've let him heal. I've let him heal. That's not good. However, as long as I just keep it up, there we go. Yeah. We still managed to not get hit, even after he casted a couple things. I'm not even sure if I used a blink bolt that whole fight. So we're on to Horaloo. Okay, we are definitely going to need to pull off all the stops here for this fight. All right. One last thing to go. Okay, let's do this. We got to act fast. Blink bolt over that. He's got no chance. Blink bolt it again. Okay. We're hitting him with the sauce right now. Yeah, Godfrey, I know how to fight you. I know what I'm doing. Right now, this is just a race against the clock on the blood-sucking tier. So I really need to get this guy to second phase fast. He's so nearly there. 1 more, please. 2 more? 3 more? Why is he not second phase yet? Okay, I just risked everything for that. We've got him to Horaloo. And he's already staggered. That took 1 hit. Hold up. Are we about to one-shot him? Okay, no, the crit didn't one-shot him. But I do need to move back for this. I got to flask up real fast. Please. Oh, that was close. There's no I'm about to have a perfect run against him, right? Oh, okay. Nope, I'm not. That was very close for a second. I just need to make sure. Blink bolt that. Easy. I think I just need a couple more hits and it's over. Oh, please. Oh my God. This Zenitsu move is so powerful. Thunderclapping and flashing past all of the attacks is so good. Okay, this blood-sucking tear though, it's powerful. It's really powerful. We just had a near perfect run against Horaloo. However, sadly, I'm not that good against the second phase. I'm good against the first phase though. It was a bit of luck to beat that second phase. But it's time to stop thinking about the past and we need to get these buffs on while mid-fight. He's just not giving me a chance here. We took 1 hit to get the buffs. I'd say that's worth it. Now I just need to try and survive this phase. And we're not looking too sharp for this fight. I'm already down to no flasks. It's not looking good. And yeah, we're dead. However, I have gained some knowledge from that. And one of those pieces of knowledge are, I'm not going to be using my Wondrous Physic for this. Because 1, this phase is taking quite a lot of time. And 2, we have a whole Elden Beast second phase where he's very tanky. So I feel like I'm just going to get killed by the Wondrous Physic before I get a chance to finish the fight. We are really not looking good on flasks here, but we might be able to get to the Elden Beast. If we believe, I just need to use my blink bolts correctly. Oh my god, that was so close. I didn't use it right at all, but I managed to at least dodge normally. We just need a couple more swings and we might be onto the Elden Beast. Okay, big dodge. This build doesn't seem insane for this fight, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like ever since Renala, I fell off. But we're onto the Elden Beast, and it's not looking too hopeful for this fight. However, I do think we'll be able to get a lightning slash off on this guy, because he's not too fast, and that's where most of our damage is gonna come in here. That's the first hit of the fight. Please. I just got to keep up this pace. Honestly, with 1 HP flask left, it could be possible to beat this guy. Just as long as I keep playing how I did for that first, like, 5th of health. And now that we have a slow-moving opponent, Lightning Slash could be an MVP right here. Big dodge. More slashes. Just please keep it up. We've got him to half health and we haven't had to go through a flask yet. Things are looking hopeful. Okay, I've been hit. We just got to try and keep this up. We actually might have a chance here. We actually might have a chance. Okay, we've used our last flask, but the Elden Beast isn't looking insane on HP, so we have a chance here. I just need to close the distance, which is going to be really difficult. Please get us in there. We need lots of damage here. Okay. I managed to just dodge the whole, like, front-on assault. More slashes. You know, I'm starting to think this wasn't a build issue all along. It was just a skill issue, because the second I've come up against the Elden Beast, we've suddenly gone crazy on him. Oh, he's running away. Okay, we didn't quite avoid the whole thing. But there's still a chance. We did it. We actually did it. And I didn't use Blink Bolt on the Elden Beast. But that's fine because, I mean, I needed the damage from Lightning Slash there. There's actually no way that I managed to live that. I never expected there was a world where I could get him to half health without using a flask. And that last part of the fight may have been a struggle, but we just about made it. But anyway, time for the build. These are my stats. I'm sure it could have been optimized a better way. But I mainly wanted to prioritize damage, so I went for 60 in dexterity and then kind of dealt with everything else after. As for equipment, a Naga Kiba with Blink Bolt on it, Uchigatana with Lightning Slash on it, Finger Seal with the spells you saw earlier, with the incantations you saw earlier, Laying Down Knight Armor Altered, Oathseeker Knight Greaves, Radagon Sword Seal, Axe Talisman, Two-Handed Sword Talisman, Shard of Alexander. There's probably a better talisman than the Axe Talisman to use in this build, so let me know. And then the Wondrous Physic with the Spike Cracked Tear and the Bloodsucking Cracked Tear, although we didn't use it that much. And that is the Zenitsu build complete. I'm not gonna lie, I rate the Tanjiro one higher, but this was fun. The Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie has released, and in celebration, I'm making an Akaza build. Before continuing, there is a spoiler for the anime, so do with that what you want. Okay, so first things first, I needed to make a character that looks like Akaza, and this is him. I know he looks weird, but we're using him anyway. Next up, we needed some armor, and for the chest piece, I was torn between Gold Mask's rags and the altered version of the Gravekeeper's cloak. The rags would have been the closest thing to Akaza's Haori, whereas the altered Gravekeeper cloak would have been the closest thing to his tattoos. But eventually, I chose the latter, which meant I now had to head over to the Colosseum in Leyendell to grind up on the duelists in hopes of eventually getting the chest piece drop. And this took me a very long time, so much so that I ended up gaining 45,000 runes just from repeatedly killing these guys. But it was worth it because now I kind of look like I've got Akaza's tattoos. Next up for the greaves, the closest thing I could find to Akaza's rolled up pants were the Finger Maiden shoes. And luckily these were very easy to obtain. All I needed to do was go over to the Church of Inhibition and pick them up off of this dead corpse. So with that, our clothes were complete, meaning now I needed to go and get Akaza's fighting style. And it stated that his Soryu style uses both punches and kicks. Therefore I decided Dane's footwork would be best for this. And so now I had to head into the DLC and make it all the way to the fight before Consort Radahn, where you fight 3 NPCs, which took a very long time. I ended up dying to the bosses so many times, to the point that I was starting to regret my decision and wanting to change my fighting style. But we stuck with it, and you can see I eventually managed to kill all the bosses and then beat the 3 NPCs, going on to finally claim the fighting style after hours of torture in the DLC. So now that that was sorted, it was time to figure out how I could have Akaza's regeneration. With him being upper 3 of the demons, his regeneration is quite strong, and my solution for this was by stacking incantations, talismans, great runes, and even the Wondrous Physic in order to try and get close to his regeneration. The first thing I went and collected for this was the Blessed Dew talisman, and this is obtained by going over to a trap chest in the Weeping Peninsula, then running past a golem in been laying down, and it's in this chest. Next, I went and collected the Blessing of the Erd Tree, which was really easy, and then grinded up a couple of death fruits to get the Bestial Vitality incantation. After that, it was time to mix my Wondrous Physic. So for this, I went to get the Crimson Burst Crystal Tear, which is obtained by killing this Erd Tree avatar next to the Minor Erd Tree in the Weeping Peninsula. Then the other half of the Wondrous Physic was the Crimson Bubble Tear, which is obtained by killing the Erd Tree avatar next to the Minor Erd Tree and Mountaintops of the Giants. And now our regeneration was almost complete, but I still needed a Great Rune, so we'll come back to that later. For now, I was off to get one of Akaza's attacks called Air Type, and for this I decided on the Giant Golden Arc. Now luckily I already had a seal from giving death fruits to Geraint, and that was the Claw Mark seal. So now that that was out of the way, I was headed back to the DLC, because the Giant Golden Arc is found in the Runes of Unte. Once I was in, I headed over to this chest and found the incantation. Next up, I was going to get the incantation Golden Arcs, which is pretty much the Giant Golden Arc but multiple of them and smaller. This was going to be Akaza's attack Disorder, which was pretty much multiple air types. And to get this, I headed over to the Morph Ruins. Once down there, I killed a couple of enemies and then opened the chest that had Golden Arcs in. So with that done, it was time to complete my regeneration, which sadly meant I had to kill Malenia because I needed her Great Rune. And yes, this took me hours to finally kill her, but we did it eventually, therefore securing the Great Rune and completing our regeneration. Next up, it was time to get Akaza's move called Crushing Type 10,000 Leaves Flashing Willow, and his other ability Final Form Blue Silver Chaotic Afterglow. For these, I was going to use Beast Claw and Geraint's Beast Claw, and so I went and collected the final death fruits. Then I cashed them in with Geraint to get the incantations I needed, and with that we were finally ready to bring the completed build into New Game Plus. Okay, so you guys may be asking, how am I going to activate that Great Rune? And luckily, I have 24 Arc Runes from completing the game the first time and through going through the DLC. But for now, we're just going to throw straight hands at this grafted Scion. Actually, probably pop a Bestial Vitality. All right, let's do this. I'm throwing them out. What are you going to do against Dane's Footwork? I should probably be heavy attacking, actually. That would be a better idea. Okay, Ash of War. Go! That's some big damage, but I'm also taking a lot of damage. Eventually, I'm going to have an opening here. That's one, and I can see that regeneration doing its thing. It's just taking a while. All right, we're piecing him up. God damn, fast attacking builds are not made for this game. But we beat him, and we still haven't used the true potential of this build. With the first boss out of the way, it was time to head to Margit. All right, let's pop another one of these Bestial Vitalities again. And for this fight, it's time to use an ability. Go Beast Claw, 500 damage. What happens if I hold that a bit more? 600, and I have been smacked. But it's not that bad. You know, maybe it's time for a couple of air types. 300. Disorder, go. Also 300. I feel like Margit must have some sort of a resistance to golden magic. Therefore, I'm not really surprised by the fact that my air types don't work too well. However, my 10,000 shenanigan stuff, I can't actually remember the name right now, seems pretty good. And another one, Crushing Type, go. 10,000 Leaves Flashing Willow. Big damage. Now we just got to back up for a second, get our mana up. I may have regeneration, but I don't have FP regeneration. Oh, my Bestial Vitality's come off. That means it's time to use the Wondrous Physic. And I think this has better regeneration than Bestial Vitality. We're pulling out all the stops here. I mean, this is what a demon would do. Use everything to your advantage. This Crushing Type move definitely seems like my best attack, especially if I just hold it while he's running at me. But for this last bit, I'm just going to blitz him up. What are you going to do when Akaza's just wailing on you like that? Doesn't matter what damage we take here because we've won. So I think what I'm realizing about this build, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's definitely quite tanky. And the other good thing about this build is we have a good variation. Plus with the Crimson Bubble tier, we have a safety net. And in this fight, I'm going to start introducing Disorder. Although it's not doing as much damage as I was hoping for. But we are still completely ruining Godric right now. This guy's just too easy. He can't beat us, even with less damage than usual. Try it, Godric. Try it. This is just a window where I can just keep attacking over and over. Okay, we do have to run back from this one, though. Also, I think I'm going to save my Great Rune for more difficult fights, because I do have a finite amount of rune arcs. So for these easy bosses, I'm definitely going to hold on to them. And we don't want to use all of our moves too early, but that's Godric down. After only showing half of our potential and ruining Godric, it was time to go to Raya Lucaria. Okay, before we go in, I'm going to use this Wondrous Physic because I fear this might be a difficult fight for me. Normally, you can stat check this guy with damage, but we don't quite have a lot of damage. Therefore, We're going to have to play this a little safer. However, with our quick attacks, we can keep up with the momentum here and switch up our tactics quite easily. Although I do need to heal now. Our regeneration isn't quite Akaza level. We did the best we could. You know what? I think it's time to use some air types. Go air type. Spam them out. What are you going to do? Akaza's just got shockwaves like that. Another air type. You never win this one, Red Wolf of Radagon. Not against upper 3. Okay, we're doing pretty good. I would have thought that we'd find things a bit harder with this amount of damage, but we seem to be doing pretty good. And I think this build is going to thrive in this next fight. First up though, I'm going to pop myself a Bestial Vitality and we're going in. Moongrum, you have got no chance against this build. Especially when I can just spam hits like this and I've got like unlimited stamina. You have no shot. Normally you're used to slow moving weapons, but these faster weapons definitely have an edge. Although they don't knock back his poise, which sucks. Crushing type, go. He's got so much resistance. More crushing type. While he tries to heal, we'll just spam them out. God damn, why is this guy so cracked at PvP? I thought this is where the build would thrive, but we're just not doing well at all against him. We're actually gonna have to use a special move against this guy. You know what, this is fine. I'm sure we can use this amount of flasks against Renala. We just have to take this sacrifice here to get rid of Moongrum. Any moment now, a jumping attack. Okay, we got him. So we're going into this next fight with 1 flask of Crimson and 2 Cerulean Tears. So before we do this, I'm using my Wondrous Physic. We are definitely gonna have to pull out all the stops after being weakened by Moongrum. All right, she's falling down. I'm just gonna hope that from how fast our attacks are, we might be able to take her out in 1 phase. We've already gotten to half health, which is really good. And we've got plenty of stamina left to go. Okay, I'm not mad with that amount of damage that we got on her. In 1 phase, that's pretty good. This is where our regeneration should come in handy. Because in this phase where it's pretty hard to get hit by anything, I'll be able to recover all of my health. And we're on to our 2nd phase. Okay, let's do this. We're charging straight forward. I'm probably going to have to pull out everything I have, every single move I can use just for this fight, but it's worth it. The good thing is in this one, my hits do actually stun her. And it seems to be not enough to make her want to run away. Oh, she's pulled out the dragon though. I believe in us here. He's missed. A front on assault. Just keep it going. Surely if he lands on her, he will actually hit her as well. Okay, the dragon's gone. She's not able to defend herself. And we have enough stamina to end this fight pretty fast. So it turns out that this build was probably the perfect build to fight Renala. Maybe not for Moongrum, but for Renala it was. And with this momentum, we were already onto Godfrey. Okay, let's do this. I forgot to put on my Bestial Vitality before this fight, but lucky he didn't immediately attack me. And we have time to use a crushing type. I was trying to see how many I could get away with them before he would attack me. Okay, I can definitely say that using this build is a learning experience though, because these attacks don't work the way I'm used to them. I'm used to big katana attacks. So these chain hits aren't something I'm used to. And luckily I've survived on 1 HP there. So my regeneration will bring me back up. And from back here, I'll use a couple of crushing types. As long as I just keep him at bay and use a couple of these, we can regenerate. See, the thing is I'm used to this guy's attacks, but I'm not used to fighting him with fast weapons. So now I'm having to learn a whole new rhythm here. However, we seem to be adapting. Okay, I'm going to take this time to use some more crushing types. And another one. Our regeneration is only just keeping us alive here while I learn. Another crushing type. We're almost to the end of the fight. I've ran out of FP though. I think crushing types are definitely our best option here. And another one. Okay, one more and he's gone. Here it is. He's calmed down. Let's do it. And he's gone. Okay, that fight was really close. So I think from now on, we're going to have to start using Malenia's Great Rune. Okay, let's do it. Great Rune applied. Then the Wondrous Physic, and now we're going in. Let's see how we do. See, what I found out recently is that my Bestial Vitality and my Blessing of the Erdtree don't actually stack on top of what I already have right now. Therefore, we're just going to have to do the best with what we have, and we'll use our incantations to reapply my healing. Okay, get back. So far, we started this fight pretty well. Let's hope we don't ruin that. I'm not really certain if there's going to be a chance to... Oh, wait, I got to get in there. Attack. That was so close. Okay, each time I take damage, I can get it back by attacking him. So I just need to be fast enough to recover my health. All right, follow him along. He's knocked into his next phase. Hopefully, I should be able to get back and maybe pop a Garank's Beast Claw. That's damage. And then another one. All right, big. We're doing well here. Oh, I've just been completely like double whammied. We've got to flask it. I think it's going to be pretty easy to accidentally trick myself into attacking him when I shouldn't in order to try and get my HP back using Malenia's Great Rune. So I need to be careful here, especially when I'm this low. I got to be smart with how I use this healing. Although things aren't looking too bad. This regeneration seems to really be coming in handy. And we dodged that big attack. We're down to not many flasks left, but we might be able to do this. He's got hardly any health left. We've got 2 flasks, but we've got regeneration. So we just got to keep sending it. And there it is. We've managed to kill Morgoth. And so far, we've ran the whole gauntlet without dying yet. And next up here, you would normally be fighting the Fire Giant and then the Godskin duo. But those fights are really annoying. So I didn't talk through them. But if you wanted to see what those fights look like, then here's a couple of clips of me dying to those bosses. Okay, so after all of that, we're now down to 6 rune arcs. Don't ask. I told you I don't like those fights. But for now, we've got to head in and fight Malekith. So I'm going to try and use everything I can before I actually walk up and fight him. Oh, he's mad. He's already mad. Okay, one of his moves. Go. That wasn't too bad. He's just spamming projectiles now. And I doubt the incantations he gave me are going to be useful against him. So instead, it's time to use our Disorder and our air types. Although that seemed to do no damage. Hold on. Okay, air type, go. 98. Why is air type doing so little damage to this guy? We're gonna have to abandon that idea. I will have to go full melee. Okay, we've managed to get him down a decent bit of health. And I've realized my Ash of War is quite useful for this fight. We are down to 1 flask though. However, he's into second phase, so I like our chances here. I'm a lot better at the second phase of this fight rather than the first. The Beast Clergyman is like my kryptonite. So going against Malekith should be a lot easier. And it's already proving to be a much better fight for me. It looks like my incantations are sealed off against this guy. So all we've got are my Ash of Wars and my normal punches. Try it. Not falling for that one. See, he thinks this is going to hit me. But he doesn't know I'm too good at this move. I'm struggling to get my hits off here. I need him to finish up a combo and be stunned for a second. Like here. Okay, I missed. Why do my Ash of Wars keep missing? That's like my best move against him. Okay, here's my chance. Ash of War, go. Boom, 400 damage. Compared to everything else I've been doing, this is a lot better. But this one, there we go. He moves around so much that I'm really struggling to hit my Ash of War on this guy. He makes it seem like he's going to stay somewhere and then he doesn't. Maybe I have to just really aim for the legs. Although that doesn't look like it's going all that well. But I've got one last chance for the Ash of War. And I missed it. We are just going to have to stick to normal melee. But our regeneration has done us well there. We're up to full health now. I did accidentally just use a flask when I really didn't need to. That was out of pure habit. And we're now looking at not a lot of HP. But I believe in us here. I've also realized the Blessing of the Erd Tree isn't useful at all. Since I can't stack it on top of Bestial Vitality, all I need to do is just use Bestial Vitality. Because it costs less FP. This is looking really close now. He's on no HP. I've got no flask. The regeneration has helped. I just need one more hit. Okay. I was panicking for a second there, but the regeneration worked out. And so with Malekith out of the way, we were now on to Gideon. You know what? I'm actually really surprised I've managed to somehow run the gauntlet without a death, apart from to the Fire Giant and Godskin Duo, but I don't really count them. When I first started fighting with this build, I saw the damage and I didn't think things were going to go too well. But somehow we've managed to pull through with each fight. And I think that's completely down to the regeneration and the tankiness that I have just been absolutely smacked up there. And I highly doubt I'm going to lose to Gideon now after all of this. And this guy does have Scarlet Rot because of my fight with Malenia. So sadly, I've managed to get myself hit with that, which pretty much has sealed off my regeneration because I am constantly poisoned. And the Scarlet Rot is doing more damage than I can regenerate. However, I do have my Wondrous Physic, which I just used. So hopefully we might be able to out-sustain the Scarlet Rot. We're down to our last HP potion. And it's actually not looking good. I don't know how, but I'm somehow losing to Gideon. I've got no HP potions left anymore. And bro, there's actually no way. There's no way I just lost to Gideon, of all people, for my first death. It's gotta be because of that Malenia move. All right, let's pop this rune arc again. Wondrous Physic up. Okay, quickly. Bestial Vitality. Rush him. That's all we can do now. And he's immediately opened up with a Malenia Aeonia Blossom thing. So we're not allowed to attack him. Okay, big dodge though. I don't want him to have that repulsion. Oh, he's got a repulsion armor now. This guy is a really good counter against me because I can't use any melee on him since he keeps casting that repulsion incantation. So I'm just going to have to fight range with range here. And I don't really have the FP to do that. So we're going to hope and pray that this amount of potions of mind lasts me long enough to kill this guy. I'm actually going to have to use my special move on this guy. We're going to have to do it. When he stops casting, Garang's Beast Claw, go! Before he uses a move. I don't know how he's managing to do it. Why is it Gideon that's Akaza's greatest threat? Are you joking? This is genuinely such a cruel joke. I can't believe this. More Beast Claws. I need to just attack from range. That's the only way I can beat him here. And another one. He's ran out of flasks. He's got no more regen. As long as I spam these out. Please. We actually have a chance here. I've got 1 potion left. He's got not much health left at all. We've almost got him. We've almost got him. 1 more incantation. Just dodge into it. Oh, he dodged over it. Another. Okay, and he's gone. I am so glad. I did not want to take a second death to that clown. But I guess the joke's on me because the clown did kill me. And with that embarrassing fight out of the way, I was on to Godfrey. Okay, let's do the usual wondrous physic before we go in. I forgot my bestial vitality again. Hopefully I can get this off before he hits me. He missed. All right, for this first phase, I think this is going to be pretty easy because it's just like the Godfrey Shade fight. And I'm pretty good at that. So we just got to absolutely lock in here, get some attacks off. I don't want to waste my Crimson Bubble Tear too early. So we really need to make it to this second phase without setting that off, and it's been set off. Okay, now we don't have that safety net anymore, so I'm a little worried. I'm just gonna start spamming out air types. Who cares about fighting the bosses normally when you can use range? Play it like a mage. More beast claws, more crushing types. Okay, he's into his half-time phase between this and phase 2, and it's not looking good for us. We've got 2 flasks left, and he's not even into his next phase yet. I'm worried this might be as far as Akaza goes because we simply do not have the damage to win this. Although I guess this is it's a skill thing. Oh. And there it is. That's our first death to Godfrey. Okay, we've got 4 more attempts because once these rune arcs are gone, there is no way that we can beat these bosses. Okay, we have him really low. We have no flasks left. I don't really want to risk flasking for the Cerulean Tears. Oh, and yeah, that's another death. And in the next run, I also died. But with 2 rune arcs to go, I finally had this run. All right, rune arc on. We've got 1 left. Wondrous physic up. Bestial vitality as usual. Let's do this. I'm going to just spam a bunch of incantations early doors. They managed to hit him midair, which is great. We're just going to stay back and use these because in the Horaloo phase, I didn't really have much of an opportunity to use incantations. So we're going to abuse them here and try and preserve our health. And then we do a Beast Claw. Okay, that's our first flask down. More air types. Eventually, we'll have hit all of the damage we can do before we run out of flasks. If we can keep up this pattern, that's fine. Oh, he's knocked. Wait, I need to run up and take the crit. Okay, we got it. We got it. That's the first time he has been knocked done while I've been doing this fight with him. So I'm very glad something has changed. The tactic has helped. Just more air types. That's what we need. Any second now, surely. Okay, this is big. This is big. We're going into this with 5 flasks left. Okay, run. We have a chance here. We have a very good chance. And so far, I haven't been hit yet. And we're not looking great on HP. I need another flask. Can we at least kill this guy, please? We can't end the run here. Not on Akaza. Upper 3 doesn't deserve to lose here. He's got like a sliver of health left before we win this. I think I just need 1 more hit. But I can't be too hasty with it. Okay, now. After he did that stomp, I could get him. We've got 2 tries against Radagon and the Elden Beast. I'm not very confident about how this is going to go, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, I forgot to pop anything before I walked in. Hold on. At least the rune arc is already on. Let's get a bestial vitality going. Okay, I've been punished for that, but I think I got the bestial vitality off, so maybe it's worth it. And we'll try a beast claw. Let's see what his resistance is looking like. I think he parried my incantation. It's looking like we might have to save the incantations for the Elden Beast because Radagon moves so fast that I'm not really able to use anything against him. Plus, my golden arcs won't be good against him or the Elden Beast. So the faster incantations are too weak against these guys with their resistances. So it means I have to get to the Elden Beast while using only melee. And it's not looking impossible. We're doing decent here. The Elden Beast might be closer than we thought. Please don't get me with that. Okay, big. 1 more hit. 1 after. I managed to kill him before his move registered as an attack, or else I probably would have died there. And we're going into the Elden Beast fight with 2 flasks. But there has been a world where I've managed to do this before. And since he's a slow-moving opponent, I should be able to use Gerank's Beast Claw here, which does the most damage out of all of my attacks. So every opportunity I get to use this move, I'm going to take it. I've ran out of FP though. Hold on. We'll have to do a normal Beast Claw for a second. Okay, and we're down to 2 Cerulean flasks left. But we can avoid this attack and then run in and get Gerank's. Final form, keep going. And then another final form. And another. We're just spamming him out. I managed to get a very quick kick on him while he was diving through the water then. Okay, I can deal with this move. We just got to run out. I think for a second I'm going to use a bit of melee because I know that I don't have enough FP to use final forms for the entire fight. Therefore, I have to do something with melee here. And luckily, since he's so slow moving, I can actually attack this guy multiple times, which is a big plus compared to like every boss fight we've done before. All right, final form and another. That's knocked him. That's stunned him. It staggered him. Take the crit. Take the crit. Let's do it. Okay, not insane damage, but we take those. Luckily, with this moveset, we have to get so close to him that a lot of his attacks do not actually reach me because I am underneath his belly. Is this actually an Elden Beast perfect run? Although not fully perfect. I have been hit a couple of times, but the regeneration has dealt with that. Time for final forms. That's a big move that he's just used. More final forms. Can I get another before he goes anywhere? I think we can now finish this only using incantations. Luckily, because these moves are also big and clunky when I am in range, they're pretty easy to dodge because they're very easy to see coming. It does make things difficult to see on the screen. I can say that for certain. Okay, he's used a big attack again. Another final form, a kick. I think this is the last hit I have to get off. I just need him to finish that combo. When's he gonna finish? That was the last hit, surely. Final form, blue silver chaotic afterglow. And we've taken him out. We finished the fight with probably our best move. And we still had one more attempt left with that rune arc as well. But honestly, I'm glad it's over. But this is the build. Here's the stats. I'm sure this could be optimized way better because my build did not feel great. Here's the loadout: Dane's footwork, Clawmark seal, Gravekeeper cloak altered, Finger Maiden shoes, Blessed Dew talisman, Marika's sword seal, Faithful's canvas talisman, Radagon icon, and my flask of wondrous physic. You can tell from looking at that this build leans more towards the incantations than my melee, but I'm sure this could also go the other way. Final thoughts on the build: didn't enjoy it. I felt like I was doing no damage the entire time, especially compared to builds that I've done in the past with katanas. But anyway, thank you for watching. See ya.